Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome, Tarot by Lupo. Welcome, Linda. Sorry about that. We just realized that we hadn't put the live stream up on StreamYard yet. We came to come in and we were like, oop. So delighted that some of you have already found your way to us, and we apologize for that. Yeah, do you want to just turn it down a little bit?
Yeah, I do.
There we go. Perfect.
Just felt like a bit too much.
So, we thought we would start off today with a question around something that has been happening in our neck of the woods for the last couple of weeks. Increasingly, we've had quite a lot of earthquake activity. I think it's 3 or 4 now that we've had that are close to 5 point on the scale in the last 2 weeks. So, we also know that we are, Crystal's going to clear the cards first. We also, of course, know this is somewhat normal for the area that we're in, and same in California. There's been a lot of increased earthquake activity. It's sort of par for the course in this part of the world, and yet this amount happening sort of in a congested time period is a little bit unusual, and I think it just has us more contemplating, how we can work with the energies of our earth and not go into too much fear or reaction. How do we integrate what's happening? We're really open to big transformation and big change, and also, just wanting to know if there's something that the universe, the spirit realm, Gaia, Mother Earth wants to share with us about what's happening, and just bring our attention to that. So if you all want to hold space, hi Marie, hi Lisa, if you want to hold space with us while we shuffle the cards and look into this.
Yeah, what do we need to know about this earthquake? Earth shake energy.
Earth shake energy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it definitely ties in with a lot of other, obviously, geopolitical, and then also it ties in with other weather events. So I just want to know, what does the universe want us to be aware of and to focus on with this? You want to pick one for... We all felt it here in Cowichan Bay. Yeah. Hi, Marie. Yeah, Marie lives very close to where we live, and here, I'm going to put this into the big screen. Here we go. Yeah, Marie's close to where we live, not that far away. What, maybe like a half hour or something, Marie, from where we are, and definitely we felt strong energies. Interesting. Okay, interesting. You go first, Crystal. Tell me what you see.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it feels like there is definitely some separation, some divide that's happening in the earth. So it's kind of sort of trying to find its balance point, and there's some clearing that it's doing, and definitely I think it felt like it's kind of going in. We feel like there's like a real sort of grounded steadiness to the earth, but there's actually quite a lot of fast energy that's moving through it right now. But it does actually look overall like it's clearing energy, and there's going to be it's creating a more harmonious frequency.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm encouraged to see the cards that I'm seeing here. And, you know, we could have sat around having tea this morning and talking about this and pulling cards on it. But we do like to hold these kind of larger questions to share with all of you, because
Mm-hmm.
we receive the incredible benefit of your guidance, your spiritual energy, and the guidance team that you all carry, that like we have the collective of all our shared guidance that comes through when we do these readings together. And so it's just that much more, I want to say, integrally held. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Janice. It's integrally held. And Lisa, hi, with all of your intentions and open-heartedness. And we receive even more profound insights when we share this type of divination practice on a platform like this with beautiful people like yourselves.
I had another thought as you were speaking.
Yeah.
Actually, to further what I said, like I feel like with this Knight of Pentacles and the 9, that actually there really was, like, we've been sort of, it was, the earth is feeling stagnant and stuck in sort of really sort of 3D stickiness, and that the earthquakes is actually that clearing energy with that Knight of Swords and the Four of Wands. Like Marie says, feeling like Pachamama is rebalancing herself. Like that's really this too here. It's like that's what it feels like. And to create more spaciousness, to create more of a balanced container to be able to really have this harmonious outcome with this moving out of troubled waters and moving into more a higher frequency energy.
Beautiful. I mean, I feel so encouraged to have these cards be present, that it could be a lot more challenging. Like, these are beautiful cards, right? This is not like, there's nothing super scary here. I totally agree with Crystal about this balancing, and with Marie with this balancing energy
herself. Yes.
And, you know, on some level, it feels like when Crystal was saying about the stagnation of earth energy, I feel like it's very much, you know, we evolve in accordance with our earth's evolution. Like, we co-evolve our earth home and all of the beings present in physical matter here on earth with us, that sharing our collective human experience. It's like we are co-evolving. And so there is something in this time, this release time, around healing, transforming, breaking through, breaking down old paradigms, old systems of power and dominance, but doing it in a more gradual way, right? Like, we're not seeing massive, big, traumatic event here. We're seeing like almost like this consistent, regular release of energy. And it does feel like it's connected to this, the medicine of the snake year. We're in the year of the snake, right? The year of the wood snake. So in order for, like, I loved what Crystal said about spaciousness, in order for there to be room for new growth, it's like we have to create some space. And it's interesting, we have a knight, an earth knight moving. He's very, very slow, steady, and practical and pragmatic. And then we have this fierce, wild warrior, like sword knight, who's almost the opposite. They're the furthest apart of the 4 knights. There's 2 in between these 2. These are the most extreme, right? So it's like we have the, on one hand, evolutionary force moving at a nice, consistent pace. And then on the other hand, we have these breakthrough energies, which is what we're going through right now collectively. We're going through these massive upgrades, these massive breakthrough energies. So much fierce, and sometimes he's associated with anger. So there's something about feeling. It's almost like what I'm hearing is Earth saying, like, almost like reflecting back to us that we need to release some anger. We need to release something energetically, but not blast it and destroy everything, not destructive anger, but cleansing anger, which is so funny because I just had a little cleansing anger release this morning. Okay, so Suzanne is saying, yeah, 4.5. Look at this, right? We're looking at, I just want to check with you, Suzanne, is that unusual for Sweden? Or are you near a fault line where...
Right, there was also another one up here that
in
was
Hawaii.
yeah.
So for us here, like I said, getting close to a 5 point occasionally is not that unusual, but honestly, the last time there was a 5 point here was like almost a decade ago, and we've had 3 of them in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so it's kind
something's
of like
going on. Yeah, something's going on, and the something looks beautiful.
It does look beautiful, and in the end, it's like it again clarifying, moving out of troubled water, as Crystal said. And I got a feeling as well that we're looking at some kind of portal healing under the water. So there's something about natural portal realignments in underwater, and you've been getting stuff about that.
All the things about underwater portals I've been getting.
We'll
see what happens with that. Maybe that'll be,
because I feel like it's connected to our underground water.
Yeah. And Suzanne was saying something about tunnels.
Yeah, let's go back up to wherever that is.
No, it's
down.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So very unusual. It's been 35 years since the last.
Okay, right.
Okay, so let's go to, we had Suzanne's question there.
Suzanne's question here.
Oh yeah, and Janice is saying there was an earthquake in LA on the night of the Oscars. Okay, so yeah, we are.
Yes, I've posted all of those comments. You're just not reading them when I post them. I'm on it.
Okay, so Benghazi, and see if the real issue happened there has to do with the spring of youth as the clean inner earth waters and the Jesus bloodlines.
It's a complex question.
Yeah, let's just answer it as Suzanne has asked it.
Okay.
You've got incredible questions, Suzanne.
Okay. Read on Benghazi. See if the real issue happened there due to the spring of youth.
As in the clean inner earth water and the Jesus bloodlines. Okay, so let's do 3 cards.
Is the real issue happening in Benghazi?
Related to the spring of youth.
Okay.
Ooh, flip that one over. Okay.
Yeah.
So a final step of something.
Cut it.
Sure thing.
Sure.
Oh, there's that same card, which we were just talking about, waters. Oh, yeah, interesting.
2 6s.
2 6s, which is actually, in a 3-card spread, getting doubles is kind of a big deal. And the 6 energy is harmony and service. This is such like a Christ consciousness
It
card.
so is.
In fact, the 6 energy is often associated with Christ consciousness. We have 2 of them. So, and then this is the generosity, reciprocity, bringing balance into the system, restoring balance and a sense of like I want to say like win-win-win situations, flourishing, better quality of life for all. So yeah, I would say yes I would answer your question with a yes.
Mm-hmm.
Clean inner earth waters and the Jesus bloodlines.
I mean, this is to me would speak to the clean inner earth waters, and this to me would speak to the Jesus bloodline. So I would say yes. And then this is sort of like a bit of the like confliction between them, almost like there's like this would be some of like the emotional upheaval or uncertainty or like something that this is bringing up.
Yeah, it's almost like
right?
protection. There's been protection,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's almost like safe for things to open up, or very soon, like say June. So there's been like this. It's sort of, I almost feel like this card of the Six of Swords is going through this one little cup here, and it's a new start. To something that's going to build momentum and build integrity up into the month of June and even over the next 6 years. Like this is just going to get stronger. So, yeah. Okay, let's go back to.
Okay, I had a vision 5 years ago about drop of blood of Jesus bloodline being in that area.
Mhm.
Okay, inside an ember stone.
Okay, well, it feels like we're looking at, what you're referring to, the metaphoric symbology of these different, I'm hearing the word like the nuance of something. So this is really, the proof is going to be in the restoration of harmony and bringing prosperity back to the lands. And I'm not talking money, I'm talking health. If we think of health as prosperity, if we could replace the word wealth with the word health when we talk about prosperity, is what I'm hearing. So it's like, if you think about from now on, when you think about saying, I want prosperity in wealth, say, I want prosperity in health. And that includes the well-being of all. That includes restoration and healing of lands, of sacred sites and holy waters and healing waters, and bringing health and healing back into balance on the planet, and everyone's regeneration,
Yeah.
and up leveling to this beautiful, I want to call it like 60. People were really excited about moving into 5D, and I get it, but 5D is still the energy of chaos. 4 and 5D are a little bit sticky places. Like we really want to harmonize into the 6th
and 7th.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just the follow-up, which it led into that, Gadaffi related to Lincoln.
Okay, let's pull 2 cards on that.
Oh, third 6.
Oh, great. Oh,
well,
yeah,
if they are related, it's certainly quite a harmonious pairing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Gadaffi related to Lincoln. Well, so yeah, I do really feel there's some sort of bloodline thing going on here. So I think you're onto it. Not surprising, Suzanne. Right? Yeah, it's not all healthy though. Let's put that last card down. It's not all healthy, right? This is there's definitely been distortion in these lineages, and so it's almost like what I'm being shown is there's these various different blueprints that we have to work with as individuals. We all have, even people that come in with heavy karma and what we would call more like dark cabal soul karma, they have the opportunity to turn themselves around, their lives around, to bring so much healing and benefit in a single lifetime that they could evolve quickly into a beautiful place. There's no like, oh, you're at the back and there's nothing you can do. like and then people who have been given incredible opportunity with what they came in with spiritually can fail and end up sliding down a spiraling, getting stuck in a whirlpool of their own making. So we're none of us, this is kind of like my illusion. So none of us are really, there's no guarantees. Bloodline does not guarantee anything. Even our genetic and karmic DNA does not guarantee anything. A lot happens with what we actualize and how we live in every moment. Christ consciousness and enlightenment is not a state that you buy or earn your way into and then you're there and you're part of a club and you're there for good. You are there because you've been able to harmonize and resonate on that spiritual frequency. And then if you fall out of alignment, that's okay. We're all going to make mistakes, even really highly evolved people. But if you continue to defer to out of alignment, and more extreme distortion, you can just as easily get pulled into something as someone who's nowhere near as spiritually evolved according to their genetics and their spiritual karma. So just interesting that I'm getting this. There's no direct way to get here just through bloodlines and karma. It is a personal choice in every moment. There's a lot of discernment.
Okay, so Suzanne is thinking that Lincoln's lost dead son has to do with what's going on now, and that he thinks he became a rebel leader called the Lion, which I thought I put it up there because I thought this was interesting since it's got the lion's head on it. So I thought in Egypt.
And then Leo has asked up earlier, he asked something about lion energy.
Yes. So Leo, here we go. Hold on a sec. Leo was right here. Thank you, Suzanne. We're going to go on to...
Oh, it's Leo because I thought of lion because it's
Leo.
Yeah.
So...
what's the law of love?
What's the law of love? That could be an interesting one to have to figure out with what the cards say, but let's have a look-see here. What is the law of love? That's interesting wording in general, isn't it? Like the spell of the word law. Does anybody know the root of the word law?
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
And how would we relate that to love?
Well, interesting. I just have to speak quickly about this because it's coming in around this, is that when we hear law, I often think of the Indigenous Aboriginal Australian people, and they actually have what they call lore. So the lore is the law. It's LORE. And it has to do with their traditional teachings, which have in them the codes of ethics. And they literally can be lore keepers, which, I'm getting the chills when I'm saying it. They can be lore keepers, which means that they are the passers of the traditional wisdom and ethics according to their spiritual lore. Which includes rites of passage, initiation, practices, kind of like universal laws, natural laws. There's that Six of Cups again. Oh my gosh, right? Right? I think
trippy.
I think you're right about the spell casting too. So even words that have been used, like it'd be interesting to see the etymology of law. And even words that have been used, maybe they started out with a relatively good association and interpretation, but then they got brought into the public lexicon and almost hijacked perhaps by the cabal or dark force energies. And utilized in a different way, and then it's hard to extricate those words back out to their original
Yeah.
form.
Yeah. Because to me, this speaks to like pure essence, like innocence and balance. Um, because if we're looking at what a law of love is, right, we can see that it's been distorted. There's no two ways about it, right?
Mhm.
But then if we look at just these two here, there's really like it is something to me about even like holistic feeling, and very sort of, if we think of like youthfulness and we think of like that purity, the innocence, and then the balance of that, the the balance between the masculine and the feminine, the balance between the duality of selves, so to me, that's where love would be birthed from, right? Is from that really harmonious, balanced place in ourselves and in our beings, and from this real pure, innocent, holistic space. And that has been very clouded and we've been so distracted away from the essence of love.
Yeah. Yeah, and beautifully put, Crystal. And this energy of, it's interesting when I was saying about the lore keepers and traditional wisdom keepers, which had the lore laws, code of ethics culturally. They held that culturally, and it was very much related to a symbiotic relationship with where you were in the land, because the word indigenous means in the land. So your lore connects you to the law of the land, which is your sacred
Yes.
relationship, that harmonic, as Crystal's saying, that harmonic, pure essence of your sacred relationship with the land. And those laws or lores, code of ethic lores, cultural lores, were designed to help us through troubled times as well, right? This is like guiding us through the Maya, the illusion, all the temptations, all the distortions. It's sort of like the lore keepers kept things harmonized. We could step out of balance and into the illusion and into the distortion, but we had these regular, practical, culturally held lores that brought us back again and again and again. And it's really, we need that now. We need those lores back. So, yeah. So
we did have another question up here.
There
I had
was.
one. There we go, Janice. I had one more thing to say about that. When one was talking there, I thought that what another trend that was really interesting is these two cards are sharing, like they're like working together, sharing information, sharing like this real harmonious piece. And then this is very much like when law is written, it's very much like up in the clouds, and this like the leader of the law that like casts it out and is like, this is law now, and it's like this whole sort of like picture that you have to follow, whereas like this law was created between two beings in harmony with the earth, and then it turned into, like, when I feel into law, it turns into that which is written and put out there to be
and
followed.
Crystal made her fingers go like this, like the forked tongue thing,
Yeah.
right? It's like say one thing but do the opposite. Like it's where, and I know that with law, for example, the original versions of law were written, but they had to be spoken. They had to be spoken into being. And that's why you had back in the day, even now to some degree, they used to say, what was it? You had to speak your intentions to get married. There was something about like everything you wanted to do, it had to get spoken, like in the church or in the courthouse or something. Like everything had to be said out loud for it to become law. And so there's something about, it was originally an oral tradition. It was originally an oral history. And, again, the sacred, these things were held and kept sacred. But the idea that when we wrote law, we could crystallize it in time and keep it for permanent. It was like you could no longer contest it. You couldn't say, well, no, I don't agree with that, because, and we're still dealing with this, right? We're looking at laws that are like still running our lives, and they're hundreds of years old.
Yes.
So it's like, whereas it feels like the cultural lore keepers were constantly, maybe not changing the laws, the lore, they were keeping the essence of it, but they were like recreating it on a regular basis based on what was going on in the community. So anyway, I think this is a very cool rabbit hole to go down, but we have some other questions, and I just want to take a moment to acknowledge Marie here, the gathering of international local elders in Shawnigan Lake 2 weeks ago to heal the local waters. I would love to hear more about that, Marie. So if you want to direct message me on the website, I would love to just know a little bit more about what happened there, so I can keep up with that, because you were in my locale here, and lovely to hear from you, and thank you for that input. Okay, so I feel like we have one personal question here we can pop in with a quick answer, and then we'll keep going with some of the other questions. Janice is asking about her 14-year-old dog, Papa.
Does he want to go? Does
he want to ascend in his body, or does he want to release his body? Let's have a look at that.
Beautiful. Beautiful to look at. Oh, Papa. What a sweet name for a doggo. Yeah. Put some love into that, Mama.
Definitely. We do, surprisingly enough, I would say it's not often, it might be maybe 15 or 20% of the time that people's beloved family, I don't like calling them pets, but fur family, and some of them feathered family, come into sessions, and it's really beautiful to work with their energies. You pick one.
Go ahead.
The middle one,
yep,
please.
That's where I was going in. So that's,
I think 3, and we'll just see where Papa's at, and how can you help him?
Okay.
Well, I think just seeing, looking at this fiery energy, and the sort of like a renewal. And it's almost like I feel like what he's really worried about, maybe, Janice, is you.
Yeah.
He's worried about you feeling abandoned, and that you don't want to ascend without him in physical body. But it's almost like I'm hearing him suggest it doesn't really matter either way for him. He's like, I'm ascending and we're together. So he's kind of like, it doesn't matter, body, no body. It's sort of like, I'm not bothered by not having a body. And so, yeah, it feels like so appreciated. He's my son and completely family to me. It feels like his greatest concern is for you. And if you would feel okay to go with him or without him, is what I'm feeling. Now, I don't know why I'm getting this, but I'm seeing his toenails, and it's almost like I'm seeing he's saying that he wants you to keep his toenails or toenail clippings or something. I don't know what that's about, but it's like he's showing me you know, because it's almost like, what would you keep, right? Some people keep like a paw print or, and for some reason he's showing me this little bag with his toenail clippings in it. And yeah, and then he's going, well, if you keep enough of them, you can put them on like a path or a walk. You can put like one little clipping that he was there with you. He walked that path with you. So something about, he's going, well, they're small and they'll ascend or something. And I guess what we're also looking at is that nails keep growing after we cross. So there's something about his nails. I don't know why he's shown that, but anyway.
She's cool. She's cool.
Yeah.
Aww.
Aww. Oh my gosh, we're
sending you and Papa so much
totally,
love, my
Janice.
dear. Okay, let's see.
Go back
Have
up
we?
here. Leo had asked another question down here.
I know it was about red tea or something.
Oh, he's asking about a weight loss drug, I think. Let's look.
Has anyone tried the red tea to lose weight?
Let's look at it. I'm like, what is the red tea?
What's red tea, y'all?
Yeah, tell us more about this red tea.
Leo, let us know. What is red tea?
I feel like it's reminding me of, there was that, is it a Chinese tea, Leo?
I was going to say, is it the Chinese bark?
No, not that.
That's an inside joke. Never mind us. Okay, though. Okay.
Well, now we have to tell them. We have to tell them now that we let up.
So I show up to her house in one of her places in the Kootenays, and I'm helping her pack up her house, and she's got this, what looks like bark, right? Bark tea. Oh yeah, I think it even said twig tea. So she's like, I'm packing up her kitchen with her, and I'm like, what is this twig tea that you have? You know.
No, she didn't say it like that. She said hippies would buy anything.
No, that's what I said later. You were like, oh, it's this very special, blah, 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 ancient, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hippies will buy anything, you know, this bloody twig tea. So I think she's just got piles of it. Anyhow, it's a kind of had to be their moment, but I always bug her about her twig tea. So has anyone tried
the red tea? It's not the twig tea, but maybe that's good for weight loss.
Chinese twig tea.
Anyway, we laughed because that is something her father would have teased me about. He would have said, oh, hippies will buy anything. Twig tea, great. How much do you pay for that? $10? Right on.
It's only $25 a package.
Yeah. Okay. So red tea to lose weight.
Let's see if anybody's saying anything about this. Not yet. Okay, so they don't think we're funny. Green tea, not so yummy. Okay. No, but red tea is yummy. Oh, is it kind of like green tea but red?
Yeah, we want to know what this red tea is.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it is the tea in the red box that has Chinese writing on it, which is a weight loss tea. It's been around for a really long time. Just let us know if that's the one we were talking about. But we will also just pull cards on whatever your tea that you're describing, Leo, is. And if you're still here, let us know.
Leo, are you here?
What is this red tea? So that we know more. And I'm getting this one.
Go ahead.
Okay, there you go.
What are we doing here?
Just 3 cards.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh. Huh. I feel like curious. I'm feeling like there's something about, like, the idea of tea is a good idea. I think there's something about, like, maybe there's a lot of nervousness or anxiety, and I do feel quite a lot of caution for you, particularly Leo, about not going into heavy stimulants, because this is an anxiety card. So if this red tea has, what is that, Afreda or whatever it's called, Afreda, it is it's a pretty powerful stimulant, and I don't see that would be ideal for you at this time. But it does feel like there's something in the idea of working with, like, so I would check the ingredients to make sure it doesn't have one of those extreme stimulants in it, but it does feel like there is something in tea that's good for you.
It seems like a blend.
Yeah.
Like a 3 tea blend or something. like if you are going to have something that has a stimulant, also have something that has an adaptogens in it that are going to help you sort of harmonize it into your being a bit more. Like to just go for the stimulant might be too much on your nervous system.
Yes. So yes, and a lot of those weight loss teas have that Ephrata. I see Maria's here calling it. Are you thinking? I don't know how to pronounce it. But
you're thinking Ephrata.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
tiny like caffeine. So yes, it's a stimulant. Yeah. So,
but rooibos is a red tea, so we could be talking about rooibos as well.
Although I don't know how that would help with weight loss. So
yeah, and then Lupo saying, "Have pine needle tea. It tastes horrible." Well, the twig tea tastes kind of horrible too, but it's all in the medicine of. It's all in good fun, right? I think there's something about the active, like. Especially if it is a non-stimulant, non-caffeinated tea, there is something it's a very good way to take in. I'm hearing, almost the guys are saying we absorb water better when it comes with a certain type of mineral, which often is in the herbal tea. So I think we could say that herbal tea overall is beneficial, and that to not go too far into the stimulant area. And of course, there's just something about, I feel like when we're talking weight loss, these two cards, again, doubles in a tiny little 3-card spread, kind of rare. 3 is the energy of play. It's the energy of celebration. It's the energy of synergy. It's get up and move, dance, play, go for hikes, like move your body. And drink lots of good herbal tea. I think that is sort of like the message that is coming here. Don't go for something that's going to be hard on your system.
One of the things that we also practice is, I have it queued up. Yeah. One of the things that we also practice is dowsing over which tea to drink on that specific time. So if you had like a few teas that you were thinking of blending together, douse on how they go together, and really sort of get curious about not just going one straight shot to try to lose weight. Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about dowsing. I think we have to take a moment to show them my dowsing rods that I just got in the mail.
Did you bring them?
Well, they're right out. I just grabbed
Okay, Mom's going to take a moment. I'm going to pull up this next question and read it. You go grab the rods.
Okay.
Welcome, Sugar Inos. Yay, I've managed to catch a live welcome. We are so happy that you're here. Thank you for joining us. And are you able to do a read on Cyclone Alfred here in Australia?
Definitely. Let's read on
Yes.
that.
How is it going to go? Is it man-made or natural? The media is telling people to stock up. So we could do okay, so let's do a read on how's it going to go, and then we'll pull a few more on there about if it is man-made or natural after. So you go ahead and pause for effect here. We're going to bring up a little bit of a larger.
So I just got my dowsing rods, like literally not even 20 minutes.
Let's turn this down so that they can
20
see
minutes before we came on the live, and I was so excited I had to open them up because I just had to see how they are. So I'm taking these to the conference. I'm going to show you in a second, and just want to also mention that we're not going to be probably not doing live next Tuesday because we're actually on the road next Tuesday. So no live next Tuesday, but we hopefully will have something up for you the following Tuesday, and maybe we'll just pull off a little like impromptu live during the week at some point at the conference.
Ooh.
So check this out, everybody. I don't know if you can actually see the light. Oh, you might not be able to see the light very well. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, you can kind of see it. If I get behind it?
Yeah, right? Maybe.
In front of me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See how they glow? You guys.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, can you see it? Because
it's green.
Green. Try green. Yeah, there we go. And then hold it up against me.
Lightsabers.
Don't hit me with it. Okay, you guys, they're really cool.
Okay, hold on. There's purple too. There's 4 colors. You got to see all 4 colors. Here's the purple.
Maybe make it so they don't fly around. There you go.
There, purple.
They glow. They're really
cool. Yeah. And then the final color is kind of like a red. Whoa.
So
Yeah. So
lights down low and we mystify y'all with the
I'm pretty
and
excited.
they're
It's like
very
having a new.
well
They're
tuned, like
super well tuned.
yes.
They're super well tuned. And so the man that makes these, I don't remember where he's located, but I can find out for all of you if you want to order some. And he actually does dowsing, working with people that are doing basically like ghost busting and stuff like that. So they're in dark spaces, and he wanted to have rods that and he works with the different colors for different purposes. So I'm just going to be reading all his material this week and sort of adding that to my presentation at the conference. But we'll definitely give you a little synopsis in the next couple of weeks on our upcoming lives about how that went and some of the highlights. And yeah, maybe at some point even have a demonstration with the rods up on
YouTube.
Building
that YouTube channel. Building that YouTube channel up. Okay. Now that the intermission is complete. Yeah. So fun. And yes, I mean, they are helpful to be dowsing in the dark and at nighttime, which is cool. Tara by Lupo was asking about that. So let's look into Cyclone Alfred in Australia. So how is it going to go?
I think let's do a full
spread on that. Yeah,
spread,
and then we'll look at a few more cards on is it natural or man-made.
I think we might be able to get a hint about that from what comes
what comes through. Okay.
And then we'll just pull a couple extra cards on do you need to stock up? I mean, you know, overall we've been getting a lot of stocking up energy. I was watching one of Janine's shows a couple of days ago, and she was talking about stocking up. I mean, I think, you know, it kind of reminds me in a way of just looking differently at our lives and planning our lives out a little differently. Like it's not that long ago that a lot of our ancestors did. It wasn't so much that they were stockpiling against crises, although they certainly had a more natural sort of finger on the pulse of natural life's ups and downs, right? That you couldn't just go to a grocery store and get what you needed, that you needed to maybe, you know, maybe there would be years with bad crops or whatever. So they did tend to live differently, and everybody had a pantry. Everybody had, and they didn't call it prepping. They called it just normal life, right? So here, I'll make that larger, Crystal.
Great.
There we go.
Great.
And so I think it's really even about like what we value, right? It's like I'm really enjoying getting good quality stuff and buying it in bulk from producers that I know and trust. And then, you know, having a storage place, a root cellar, a pantry, whatever, and just thinking differently about, instead of it being this prepper, like I have to have, you know, hundreds of rolls of toilet paper or whatever, that it's more of a natural way of going about life and thinking differently about the value of things. So that's the first piece about preparing and stocking up. I think stocking up overall is a new way of looking at the old-fashioned version of having pantries and storage for our food and just living differently. Not like, it's almost like that analogy of if you live more discerningly with what you spend your money on and what you consume, you would tend to buy things in larger quantities and store them well.
Yeah.
So that feels like it's a good advice no matter what, for one. And who was our question? It disappeared.
No, it's right here.
Oh no, that's oh yeah, okay.
It's the
so
whole
sugar.
thing. Yeah,
Thank you.
It's okay.
So that's the main first hit on this.
I mean, it definitely looks like, you know, with the sun and the Ace of Pentacles in the outcome of it, it looks like no matter what happens, the sun will shine again, and you will be it's some form of a gift of renewal, of um, new possibilities. There's definitely, a little bit of a feeling of this has stirred me up.
Mhm.
This 5 of cups here, like, there's all this energy sort of flying at you about what you should be thinking about it right now. Like, "Oh, this is what's gonna happen," and, there's all of this, like, information that is coming at you, and that's sort of feeling a little bit like it's stirring up emotions, it's feeling a little overwhelming, it's feeling like, the uncertainty of what this impact could mean. But in the actual, when you're looking at it, again, it is the ferocity of the earth
Mm.
mother that is being worked through, cleared, creating space, and the outcome of it is absolutely a
It's a
gift.
gift. A
Yeah.
gift that we call often this Ace of Pentacles a gift
Mhm.
card or a reward card.
Mhm.
And I think the gift is in getting people talking about,
Yeah.
again, stockpiling. I think it's the words we're using.
Mm.
Let's call it like, yeah, just I'm not getting the clear word right off the bat, but something to do with like quality storage or something like that, like just caring about what we purchase and supporting our local producers, food producers, and buying things in bulk, something along those lines. It really is even taking me into what's something that I really appreciate in communities I've lived in the past, KSAs, community supported agriculture. And it's where
Mhm.
people would purchase a share in a crop. And then for your share, you would get like whatever it is, a bag, like pretty big size bag of that grain. And that would be your payment. Or if the season didn't go well, you could recycle your share into the next year and just get a smaller amount. And everyone was taking the hit for that potential, um, highs and lows of seasons and so on. So it feels like all of this, even here in Canada, getting back to what we were just talking about earlier with the different types of natural disasters and the earthquake threats that we've been going through here on the west coast of North America, basically, especially in the last couple of weeks. It's like fire threats ongoing in North America and different parts of the world. All of these things are bringing our awareness to where we don't live sustainably, right? Where are we like sort of really out on a limb in terms of if we're depending to fill our larder with what we go once a month to do our big Costco shop or something. If that's all we've got to depend on and that stops, we're at risk. So it feels like it's actually encouraging us to become more autonomous,
Mhm.
and that these things are for our, yeah, yeah, fierce but quick. Really good point. Thank you, Sugar,
Mhm.
for that. Yeah, it'll be
Mhm.
fierce, fast, but probably right because the sun comes out really soon after, and it
Yeah.
actually brings somehow a benefit. Now, interesting. This when Crystal said the disappointment, it's reminding me, and I was watching some online stuff this morning about different people in our community who are like, I'm not prepared. So it's that place where we get to go, oh, uh, right, I see
Mhm.
how I'm not
Mhm.
prepared. And that
Mhm.
could be a little sad,
Mhm.
right? Especially if you've been thinking about getting prepared and then you're like, oh no, it happened and I got caught out. And
Yeah, I didn't do
so,
it. Mhm.
oh, look at this.
Mhm.
Janine is saying, my mom
Yeah, lots of
grew up
great
during the Great
combo.
Depression. In her second grade class, they were taught a great rhyme: use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. Yeah, and
And
just
Maria's talking about how sorry,
one story.
stockpiling. Mhm.
we also did a little food drawing. That's a learning curve. And these are learning curves, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not, if we can stop looking at all these events politically, ecologically, environmentally, weather-wise, as being like, oh my gosh, we're victims of these events. Can we see them as being opportunities to up level and get better? Of course we're going to feel a little bit sad, and I think that part of the grief is there will potentially be some loss, there will be some damage of property, there will be, I'm hoping not loss of life, but possibly, certainly likely some animal loss of life. And it is hard to feel the sadness of loss that happens as a result of growth.
So prayers to all of you in Australia, and we hope that even when it does hit, that it is fast and quick, and just the little bit of continuous wake-up call that we're all calling in. And that's what these 5s often are too, right? Is the opportunity for the upgrade.
Oh, yes. Thank you. And just a noticing here as well, we have 3 court cards in this tiny little spread. Now, court characters, right? We have a king, a queen, 2 queens, and a king. So another doubles, which is the queens. What do the queens tell us about? This one talks about planning, and this one talks about physical planting, and also having your food, your material needs organized. She's the organizer, and she's the one that gathers all the material resources, right? So it's that old-fashioned kind of like feminine way of Mother Hubbard stocking her cupboards, right? Again, that energy. And then we have 1 king, which is, he's kind of a little bit, this king is a bit like, just rip off the Band-Aid. He's like, let's just make something happen. Let's have something that wakes people up and makes them take action. So I think on some level, we're all ready to be sort of activated, is what I'm getting.
Does that speak to it being man-made, do you think, or like?
Let's pull a couple more cards on it being, I saw you pulled a couple at the beginning.
I was just going to, do you want to just split the deck at what you think?
Those first 2.
You do?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Well, it's almost like I'm getting that we do know that there's man-made activity happening. And, it's very interesting. I was contemplating this when I was out walking this morning. It's like we've got all these layers. They were showing me almost like an inversion from the eternal cosmos down to a point, and then from that point out.
Like an hourglass.
Yeah, like shape. An hourglass almost shape. And it was like, we've got the land and all of us participating at the sort of low end of the bottom pyramid, right? And then we've got the various degrees of ones that think that they've got the technology and the know-how to change the weather and to direct things into, towards their will, because this card is a lot about directing your will energy. And then, but meanwhile, the greatest influence happens down here at the base. It's like there's so few at the top of that pyramid, right? And so the base is always adapting and changing. So it's like these ones at the top of the earth pyramid are thinking they're controlling and directing things, but it's such a big energy to deal with. They're just kind of like flopping all over the place, is what I was being shown. But then their misguided actions are actually part of a greater, like there's, from the source down, there are strings being pulled. Some of it is going to create distortion and negative events. But again, there's a reason for those things. So it's not just like we're victims of these events. So I get that, yes, on some level it is man-made or man contributed, but on a higher level, even that was orchestrated.
Yeah, right, because it's just not black and white.
Yep.
Yeah, not black and white. Okay, I know that we're finishing up here, but I wanted to, I'm curious about this one. There's a rapper by the name of Greatness Movement who's giving out cash gifts he calls blessings. Is he for real or running a scam?
Oh, okay.
I don't even know who this rapper is, but now I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah.
I love that we're asking about rappers. I mean, like, they've been a whole lot of the like in your face cabal action in our reality. So it's certainly changed the way that I listen to their music. Okay. Beautiful. Thanks everyone for being here. We're going to look into this last question.
Oh, I'm just going to speak quickly on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Andrew is asking, hi Andrew. Andrew Tate is asking, what card represents the matrix? That's a great question. There isn't really a card that represents the matrix. What I would say is, I'll just leave your question up there a little longer. What I would say is that it is sort of like a combination of different reference points as we are looking at the cards. And when you get sort of like energies where there is something that looks like there could be some deception, you know, I guess different cards that could relate to deception would be like the Seven of Cups. Obviously, there's some really big dark cards that could be interpreted as deception, which is like, you know, the devil and so on. But it's not straightforward. It's not super simple to just say there is one card that represents that. I hope that is helpful.
Yeah, I feel like it would have to be like one of those cards that you listed with aspects of what was around it to see that it feels really matrix-like.
And that's why you'll see, like, you know, when Janine is looking at things, she's seeing cards representing all kinds of different things because it is the larger sort of dynamic. It's like reading a book with all the separate words, and when you combine them differently, they mean different things, right? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So where did that go?
It's right here.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So is this a scam? I would say it looks like a scam to me. What do you think? It's definitely a strategy.
It's a strategy, and it feels like it's either that he has to launder some money. It feels like it has to do with money.
Right.
He's in a tight spot, and he's got to do something with money. So it could be a money laundering thing. And you see why I'm saying that, right?
Totally.
So 9 of Swords, like anxiety, and then 4 of Pentacles, like trying to hold on or stabilize financially, or trying to hide something, trying to hold on to something.
A stronghold with money. Yeah.
A stronghold with money. And then the strategy card. And again, so this card can be fantastic in the right placement. It can be amazing, right? Like, it's not a bad card. It just means when it's aspected with those 2 guys in front of it, probably it may be not a scam, so to speak, but it does feel like it
doesn't feel like a blessings. It doesn't feel like this greatness movement. It feels like there's like, it's just a bit of a show for something that he needed to address.
Yeah,
I totally agree with the money laundering.
Yeah, he needs to like sort of deflect the attention away from something, or it's certainly not for the benefit of others, I don't think. Or like it might look like that, but for him, his motivations are to help himself out.
Yeah. Yeah. So there we go.
Wow.
Wow, that hour flew by in a
surely
hot
did.
minute.
It was fun to be here with you all, and we are going to miss you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So how about we do this? We're going to put up, because I'm just thinking about the following Tuesday. We're flying back on the Monday, but then we probably will. Oh no, we were going to not stay the night. Okay, so we might be able to do the following Tuesday. We'll put up a live StreamYard link. Sorry, we'll put it up sooner than the minute before. And then if there's some reason we can't make it on, we'll put a notice up about that and defer till a little bit later. And if we can pop on and give you like a little hello there from the conference, we'll do that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. We're excited. It's a big week coming up, y'all. And on that last note, thank you all so much who have booked readings and sessions with me. My sale is doing so well, and it's been a true joy and honor to get to know many of you that have booked. We didn't even put the ticker on today.
Oh no, this isn't. This is the wrong
Tuesday.
one.
That's the wrong one. I think it's up there, but I mean, it doesn't really. It doesn't really. It's all good. There'll be a link to it at the bottom. We're gonna shut the thing down anyhow.
There it is.
Dun, da, da, da. So if you book a session, I have hour-longs, half hours, and hour-long coaching sessions available, 25% off, super reasonable. And again, it's just been such a joy to work with you and to get to know you a bit.
Yeah, and I know the date
intimately.
The date says March 25th that the sale is on till, and that's correct. You can book with Crystal in April, May, June, whenever.
Anytime
you just purchase it before the 25th of March. So go on, check out the link below, use the coupon code renewal25, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Have a beautiful next couple of weeks.
If not before then.
If not before then.
Yeah.
And our prayers are with you in Australia and anywhere in the world where you are going through great upheaval. Remember this: breakdown to breakthrough.
And Janice, love to you and Papa. Yeah.
Blessings everybody. Bye for now.